Welcome to AudioFi. This audiobook has been thoughtfully created using research-backed principles from psychology, neuroscience, and personal development. Every chapter is designed to help you understand yourself better, think clearer, and grow stronger from the inside out. So, find a quiet space, sit back, and allow yourself to absorb these transformative ideas. Listen with an open mind and a ready heart, because the change you seek may just begin with this very moment. Your mind is running you. Every anxious thought, every limiting belief, every emotional outburst, every distraction, you think you're in control. You're not. Your brain is operating on autopilot, running the same broken programs it installed years ago. And you're wondering why life feels so hard. It's hard because you never learned to operate your own mind. This isn't therapy. This isn't motivational fluff. This is your command center. These are the 10 rules for mental domination. Welcome to How to Rule Your Mind. Chapter 1. Rewire your brain or stay broken. Your brain is not broken. It's just running outdated software. Every thought you think, every action you take, every habit you repeat is carving neural pathways into your brain like water cutting through stone. The patterns you hate? You built them. The anxiety, procrastination, self-doubt. You installed that. Here's the part they don't tell you. If you built it, you can demolish it. Your brain doesn't care about your excuses. It only cares about repetition. What you practice, you become. You're walking around thinking your personality is permanent, that your anxiety is just who you are, that your negative thinking is genetic, that you're stuck this way forever. You're wrong. Your brain is plastic, not fixed, not hardwired, plastic, moldable, changeable at any age. That's neuroplasticity. And it's the most important thing you'll ever understand about yourself. Because right now, you're using it against yourself. You're reinforcing the exact patterns you hate. Every time you give in to anxiety, you strengthen the anxiety pathway. Every time you procrastinate, you make procrastination easier. Every time you spiral into negative thinking, you're practicing negativity. You've been training your brain for years, training it to be anxious, to doubt yourself, to quit when things get hard. And you're really good at it now. Expert level, because you've put in your 10,000 hours. The 10,000 hour rule, it applies to bad habits too. You've practiced worry for 10,000 hours. You've practiced self-doubt for 10,000 hours. You've practiced giving up for 10,000 hours. And now you wonder why these patterns feel automatic, why they feel impossible to change. They're not impossible. They're just well practiced, and anything that's practiced can be unpracticed. Here's how your brain actually works. Neural pathways are like trails in a forest. The first time you think a thought or do an action, you're pushing through thick brush. It's hard, it takes effort. But do it again, and the path gets a little clearer. Do it 100 times, and it's a dirt path. Do it 1,000 times, and it's a paved highway. That's why your negative patterns feel so automatic. You've paved highways to anxiety, to doubt, to procrastination. And your positive patterns, they're still overgrown brush. Because you never practice them. You practice worry every single day, multiple times a day. But gratitude? Maybe once a month when you remember. You practice negative self-talk constantly. But positive affirmations? You tried it once, felt stupid, and quit. You practice avoidance religiously. But facing hard things? Only when you have no choice. Of course, change feels impossible. You're trying to bushwhack through jungle while there's a 6-lane highway going the other direction. But here's the secret nobody tells you. Those highways can be abandoned. Those trails can overgrow. Every neural pathway that doesn't get used weakens, atrophies, fades. And every new pathway that gets used strengthens, grows, becomes automatic. You just have to practice the new pattern more than the old one. That's it. That's the entire game. Old pattern weakens through disuse. New pattern strengthens through repetition. But you're not doing that. You're still taking the highway, still practicing the patterns you hate. Then once a week, you try the new pattern, decide it's too hard, and go right back to the highway. That's not change, that's dabbling. Change requires consistency, daily repetition, relentless practice of the new pattern. Not when you feel motivated, not when it's convenient. Every single day, 5 minutes a day of practicing the new pattern beats 2 hours once a week. Because neural pathways don't care about intensity, they care about consistency. Your brain rewires based on what you do repeatedly, not what you do intensely. So stop trying to transform your entire brain in one massive effort. Start practicing one new pattern for 5 minutes daily. Anxiety is your default? Practice calm for 5 minutes. Deep breathing. Meditation. Stillness. Negative self-talk is automatic? Practice positive self-talk for 5 minutes. Out loud. In the mirror. Procrastination is your go-to? Practice doing hard things for 5 minutes. 2 minutes of the task you're avoiding, just 5 minutes, but every single day. And here's the key. Catch the old pattern the moment it appears. Awareness is step 1. You can't change what you don't notice. So pay attention. Notice when anxiety hits. Notice when negative thoughts start. Notice when you're about to procrastinate. Catch it. Acknowledge it. Then consciously choose the new response. That's the rewiring. That's the practice. Old pattern shows up, you choose new pattern. Repeat 10,000 times. And track it. Every single time you choose the new pattern, mark it down. Put a check mark on your calendar. Keep a tally in your phone. Make it visible. Because your brain needs evidence. It needs proof that change is happening. When you can see 30 days of check marks, when you can count 100 times you chose the new pattern, your brain starts to believe it's real. And belief accelerates change. Here's another hack, mental rehearsal. Your brain can't tell the difference between vivid imagination and reality. Read that again. When you visualize something in detail, with emotion, with specificity, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if you actually did it. Athletes know this. They visualize perfect performances. And their brains build the pathways as if they actually performed perfectly. You can do the same. Visualize yourself handling anxiety with calm. See it, feel it, make it vivid. Visualize yourself responding to failure with growth mindset. See yourself learning, adapting, trying again. Visualize yourself taking action instead of procrastinating. See yourself doing the hard thing immediately. Do this daily. 5 minutes of mental rehearsal. You're building pathways without even moving. And emotional intensity matters. The stronger the emotion attached to a thought or action, the faster the pathway forms. That's why trauma creates instant neural pathways. One intensely emotional event, pathway carved. You can use this. When you practice your new pattern, attach strong positive emotion to it. Feel proud, feel powerful, feel accomplished. Make it intense. That intensity accelerates the rewiring. And here's what you need to understand. You are not your past. Your brain today is physically different from your brain yesterday. Literally, structurally different. Every thought you thought yesterday changed your brain. Every action you took yesterday changed your brain. You're not stuck with who you were. You're not doomed to repeat old patterns forever. Your brain is rebuilding itself right now, this second, based on what you're thinking and doing right now. So what are you practicing? Are you practicing the patterns you want or the patterns you hate? Because whatever you're practicing, that's what you're becoming. Commit to 66 days. That's how long it takes to make a new behavior automatic. Not 21 days. That's a myth. 66 days. 2 months of daily practice. 2 months of choosing the new pattern over the old one. 2 months of tracking, of visualizing, of catching old patterns and consciously rewiring. That's the timeline. Not overnight, not instant, but also not forever. 66 days of practice, and the new pattern starts feeling natural, starts feeling like you. Because it is you, the you built, the you practiced into existence. Stop blaming your past. Stop saying, this is just how I am. That's who you were, based on what you practiced, but you can practice something different. You can build different pathways, different patterns, different defaults. You can rewire your entire brain at any age, starting right now. So pick one pattern, just one, the one that's destroying you most, and practice the opposite. 5 minutes daily, track it, visualize it, make it emotional. Catch the old pattern and choose the new one. Every single time. Do this for 66 days. No excuses, no negotiations, no skipping. Your brain will fight you. It loves efficiency. It loves highways. It hates bushwhacking through new trails. But you're in charge, not your brain. You. So take charge. Rewire that brain. Build new highways to the patterns you want. Because you built the patterns you hate. Which means you can build patterns you love. You're not broken, you're just running old software. Time to install an upgrade. You can rewire any pattern in your brain. Starting today. Pick one. Practice the opposite. Track it for 66 days. But here's the problem. You still believe you're fundamentally limited. That some things are just not for people like you. That belief is strangling your potential right now. Time to kill it. Chapter 2. Believe you can grow or watch yourself shrink. Your beliefs about your abilities are killing you. Not the truth about your abilities. Your beliefs. You've decided you're not good at things. That you can't learn. That you lack talent. And your brain believed you. So now it filters out every piece of evidence that you're capable. It finds proof that you're right. That you can't. That you shouldn't try. Fixed mindset is a prison with invisible bars. Growth mindset is the key. Choose which one you're living in. You're stuck. And you think it's because you lack talent, intelligence, natural ability. It's not. You're stuck because you believe you lack those things. And that belief is destroying everything. Let me explain the difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset. Because this one belief system determines your entire life trajectory. Fixed mindset says, intelligence is fixed. Talent is innate. You either have it or you don't. People with fixed mindset look at successful people and think they're just naturally gifted. I could never do that. They look at their own failures and think, this proves I don't have what it takes. They avoid challenges because challenges might expose their limitations. They give up easily because struggle means they lack ability. They see effort as pointless. If you have to try hard, you must not be good at it. That's fixed mindset, and it's a death sentence for growth. Growth mindset says abilities are developed, intelligence is built, talent is practiced. People with growth mindset look at successful people and think, they practiced. They learned. I can do the same. They look at failures and think, that didn't work. What can I try differently? They seek challenges because challenges are how you grow. They persist through struggle because struggle means you're learning. They see effort as the path. Hard work is how you get good at things. That's growth mindset. And it's the difference between people who achieve and people who give up. Now, here's the critical part. Your mindset is a choice. You're not born with fixed mindset. You learned it. From parents who praised your intelligence instead of your effort. From teachers who labeled you. From a culture that worships natural talent. You learned that being smart means things should come easily. That needing to try hard means you're not good enough. And now you're paralyzed. You won't try things you might fail at. You won't look stupid. You won't struggle publicly. So you stay small, stay safe, stay stuck. Meanwhile, people with growth mindset are trying everything, failing constantly, learning rapidly. They don't care about looking smart. They care about getting better. And you know what happens? They do get better. Because they practice, they learn, they adapt. While you're still sitting there afraid to try because you might confirm your worst fear, that you're not good enough. But here's the truth. You're right. With fixed mindset, you're not good enough because you never will be. You'll never be naturally talented enough to succeed without effort. That person doesn't exist. Every successful person you admire worked harder than you know, practiced more than you see, failed more than they admit. They're not special. They're just practicing growth mindset. They believe effort pays off, so they put in effort. And surprise, it pays off. You believe effort is pointless if you don't have natural talent, so you don't put in effort. And surprise, nothing changes. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Your belief creates your reality. So change your belief. Start with the word yet. Every limitation you identify, add yet to the end. I'm not good at public speaking yet. I can't build a business yet. I don't understand this yet. That one word transforms a permanent limitation into a temporary state. It tells your brain, this is something I'm working on, not something I am. And your brain responds differently. Instead of giving up, it starts problem solving. How can I get better at this? But you're not using yet. You're using I can't, and I'm not, and I lack. Permanent, final, fixed. And your brain hears that and stops trying. Why try if you've already decided it's impossible? Here's another shift. Stop praising outcomes. Start praising process. When you succeed at something, don't say, I'm so smart, or I'm naturally good at this. Say, I worked hard on this, or I tried a good strategy, or I didn't give up. Praise the effort. Praise the strategy. Praise the persistence. Because that's what's replicable. That's what you can control. Intelligence, talent, natural ability. You can't control those. So praising them is useless. Effort, strategy, persistence. You can control those. So praising them reinforces the behavior. And when you fail, do the same thing. Don't say, I'm not smart enough or I lack talent. Say, that strategy didn't work. What can I try differently? Or I didn't put in enough practice yet. Reframe failure as data, as feedback, as information about what to adjust, not as proof of your inadequacy. Fixed mindset turns every failure into an identity crisis. I failed, therefore I am a failure. Growth mindset turns every failure into a data point. That failed, therefore I learned something. See the difference? One destroys you, one develops you. And here's the key. Seek challenges intentionally. Fixed mindset avoids challenges. Stay in the comfort zone where success is guaranteed. Growth mindset seeks challenges. Go where you're uncomfortable, where you'll struggle, where you'll learn. Because struggle is the signal you're growing. If everything feels easy, you're not growing. You're just repeating what you already know. Do one thing every week that scares you, that makes you uncomfortable, that you're not sure you can do. And when you fail at it, good. You just got data on what to improve. Try again. Adjust, learn. That's growth. But you're not doing this. You're staying where it's safe, where you can maintain the illusion of competence. And that illusion is costing you everything because you're not getting better. You're just protecting your ego. Here's another shift. Replace I need to look smart with I need to learn and grow. Fixed mindset prioritizes looking intelligent. Avoid anything that might make you look dumb. Growth mindset prioritizes learning. Who cares if you look dumb while learning? You know who looks dumb? People who never learn anything new because they're too busy protecting their image. You know who looks smart? People who used to look dumb while they were learning, but now they're actually skilled. Stop performing intelligence. Start building it. And surround yourself with growth-minded people. If everyone around you has fixed mindset, you'll stay stuck. It's contagious. Find communities that celebrate learning over knowing, that share their failures as lessons, that encourage trying new things. Cut people who mock you for trying, who say, that's not realistic, or you're not that type of person. Those people have fixed mindset, and they're trying to keep you fixed too. Protect your mindset like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your mindset determines what you attempt, what you persist through, what you achieve. Fixed mindset, you attempt little. Persist through less. Achieve even less. Growth mindset, you attempt everything. Persist through failure. Achieve what fixed mindset people call impossible. It's not about talent. It's about belief. Believe you can grow and you will. Believe you can't and you won't. That's simple, that brutal. So right now, write down every fixed belief you hold. I'm not good at math. I'm not a people person. I'm not creative. I'm too old. I don't have the background. Write them all down. Look at them. These are not facts. These are beliefs, based on limited data and reinforced by avoidance. Now, rewrite them with yet. Then take one action this week that challenges one of those beliefs. Bad at public speaking? Sign up to present at a meeting? Terrible at creative work? Spend 30 minutes writing or drawing? Action is how you build new evidence. Evidence is how you change beliefs. But you have to act. You have to try. You have to struggle. That struggle is growth. That discomfort is progress. Stop waiting to feel confident. Confidence comes from doing, not from thinking about doing. Do the thing. Fail at it. Learn. Try again. Get slightly better. That's the cycle. Repeat that cycle 100 times and you're skilled. Repeat it 1,000 times and you're an expert. But you're not repeating it because you're afraid of the first failure. So you stay unskilled, unconfident, stuck. Choose growth mindset. Choose effort. Choose learning over looking smart. Choose to be bad at something today so you can be good at it tomorrow. That's how you win. That's how everyone wins. Stop believing in limits. Start believing in growth. Watch your entire life change. Growth mindset unlocked. You believe you can develop any skill now. Perfect. Except your mind is still a chaotic mess of 60,000 daily thoughts, most of them dragging you backward. You can believe all you want, but if you can't control your attention, you'll stay scattered and reactive. Fix that next. Chapter 3. Master your thoughts, or let them master you. Your mind is a disaster. 60,000 thoughts daily, most negative, most repetitive, most complete bullshit. You're not thinking. You're being dragged by a chaotic stream of mental noise, worries about the future, regrets about the past, judgments about the present. You're never actually here. You're always somewhere else, mentally rehearsing conversations that will never happen, replaying ones that already did. This isn't thinking. It's mental self-destruction. And mindfulness is the solution. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your head right now. You think you're present, reading this, paying attention, but you're not fully. Part of your mind is thinking about what you have to do later. Part is worrying about something from yesterday. Part is judging whether this is worth your time. You're here, but you're not here. That's your default state. Scattered, distracted, pulled in 17 directions at once. And you've been operating like this for so long, you think it's normal. It's not normal. It's chaos. And it's destroying your focus, your peace, and your ability to make clear decisions. Here's what your mind does all day. It tells stories, horror stories mostly, about everything that could go wrong, everything that did go wrong, everything that's wrong right now. That person doesn't like me. I'm going to fail. I'm not good enough. I should have done it differently. I'm behind. I'm falling apart. Your brain is a 24/7 horror film where you're both the victim and the villain. And you believe every word. You think these thoughts are facts, reality, truth. They're not. They're just thoughts, just stories your brain made up. Most of them aren't true. Most of them will never happen. Most of them are based on nothing but your brain's negativity bias trying to keep you safe. But you're treating them like gospel. You're reacting to them. You're making decisions based on them. And that's the problem. You're not in control of your mind. Your mind is in control of you. A thought appears, you follow it. An emotion hits, you're hijacked. An anxiety spiral starts, you're stuck in it for hours. You think that's just how life is. That's just how minds work. Wrong. Mindfulness is how you take back control. And before you roll your eyes and think, this is some spiritual woo-woo nonsense, stop. Mindfulness isn't about chakras and crystals and sitting in lotus position for 3 hours. Mindfulness is attention control. It's the ability to notice when your mind wanders and bring it back. That's it. That's the entire practice. Thought appears. You notice. You return to the present. Repeat 10,000 times. That's mindfulness. And it's the single most important mental skill you'll ever develop. Because here's what happens when you practice mindfulness. You create space. Space between the thought and your reaction. Space between the emotion and your decision. Right now, you have zero space. Thought appears. You react immediately. Anxiety hits. You panic. Anger rises. You explode. Craving appears. You give in. Stimulus, response, no gap, no choice, just automatic reactivity. You're not living, you're reacting. Mindfulness creates a gap. Thought appears. You notice it. You observe it. Then you choose your response. That gap is everything. That gap is power. That gap is freedom. But you don't have it because you never practice creating it. Meditation is how you practice. Meditation is attention training. You sit, you focus on your breath, your mind wanders, you notice, you return to breath. That's one rep. One moment of attention control, one practice of creating that gap. Do that for 5 minutes daily. You're building the skill, building the muscle, building the gap. But you're not meditating. You're avoiding it. I can't quiet my mind. I'm not good at it. I don't have time. It doesn't work for me. All excuses. All lies you tell yourself to avoid sitting with your own mind. Here's the truth. You can't quiet your mind. Nobody can. That's not the goal. The goal isn't zero thoughts. The goal is noticing when you're thinking and returning to breath. You're going to have thoughts, thousands of them. That's what brains do. But you don't have to follow every single one. You don't have to believe every single one. You don't have to be controlled by every single one. Meditation teaches you this. Thought appears. You label it thinking. You return to breath. No judgment, no fighting the thought, no trying to force it away. Just notice, label, return. That's the practice. And it's simple, which is why most people quit. They expect some magical state of bliss. They expect their mind to go silent. They expect to feel enlightened after 5 minutes. That's not what happens. What happens is you sit down, and your mind goes crazy. You try to count breaths, and you get to 2 before your mind is off planning dinner and replaying a conversation from 3 weeks ago. That's normal. That's everyone. That's the practice. You notice you're distracted. You return to counting. That's 1 rep. That's progress. You'll notice you're distracted 100 times in 5 minutes. Good. That's 100 reps. That's building the muscle. The skill isn't staying focused. The skill is noticing when you're not focused and returning. That's attention control. That's the gap you're building. And 5 minutes daily is enough. Not 30 minutes, not an hour, 5 minutes. But every single day. Consistency over intensity. Always. Sit somewhere quiet after you wake up. Before you check your phone. Before the world makes demands. Close your eyes. Breathe normally. Count each breath. 1 to 10. Then restart. When your mind wanders, and it will at breath 2, just return. No frustration, no judgment. Just return. Use an app if you need structure. Calm, Headspace, Insight, Timer. Whatever you'll actually use. But the app isn't the point. The practice is the point. You're training your brain to focus, to observe, to not be controlled by every passing thought. And here's what changes. Your emotional reactivity decreases. That email that would have ruined your morning, you read it, you pause, you respond strategically instead of emotionally. That criticism that would have sent you spiraling, you hear it, you acknowledge it, you extract useful feedback and move on. That anxiety about the future, you notice it's just a thought, not a fact, and you continue taking action anyway. You stop being jerked around by your own mind. You respond instead of react. You choose instead of being controlled. That's what 5 minutes of daily meditation buys you. Control, choice, freedom. But you won't do it. You'll read this, you'll agree it makes sense, and you won't sit down tomorrow morning. You'll hit snooze, you'll grab your phone, you'll dive straight into reactive mode. And then you'll wonder why you feel anxious all day, why you can't focus, Why everything feels overwhelming? It's because you didn't create the gap. You didn't train your attention. You didn't practice control. You just jumped straight into chaos and wondered why you're drowning. Stop doing that. Start meditating. 5 minutes. Tomorrow morning. Non-negotiable. Link it to your routine. After coffee. Before breakfast. Stack it with an existing habit. Make it automatic. Make it as normal as brushing your teeth. Because here's the reality. You can't think clearly when your mind is a war zone. You can't make good decisions when you're emotionally hijacked. You can't focus deeply when you're being dragged by every passing thought. Meditation gives you your mind back. It gives you control. It gives you the ability to be present. Not lost in the past. Not anxious about the future. Here. Now. Actually experiencing your life. Most people never experience that. They sleepwalk through their entire life, lost in thought, never actually here. Don't be most people. Sit down, breathe, count. Notice when you wander, return. That's the practice. Do it daily. Watch your mental clarity sharpen. Watch your emotional control strengthen. Watch anxiety loosen its grip. All from 5 minutes of sitting still and breathing. That's not magic. That's neuroscience. That's attention training. That's ruling your mind instead of being ruled by it. So, tomorrow morning, sit. No excuses, no negotiations. Just sit. Your mind will fight you. It loves chaos. It loves reactivity. It hates stillness. But you're in charge, not your chaotic mind. You. So take charge. Master your thoughts. Create the gap. Win back control. Because you can't rule your mind if you're being dragged by it. 5 minutes of meditation daily. That's your new non-negotiable. You're building the gap between thought and reaction. You're taking back control. Good start. Now we go deeper. Because under all that mental noise sits something more dangerous than any anxious thought. Invisible chains you've been wearing so long you forgot they're there. Stories you tell yourself that feel like truth. Time to destroy them. Chapter 4. Destroy your limiting beliefs, or they'll destroy your future. The only thing standing between you and everything you want is a collection of lies you told yourself and decided were true. Limiting beliefs are invisible chains. I'm not smart enough. I'm too old. People like me don't succeed. These beliefs feel like facts. They're not. They're thoughts you practiced until they became automatic. You're living inside a mental prison you built yourself. And the worst part? You're defending the walls. You're protecting your limitations like they're keeping you safe. They're not. They're keeping you small. You've decided what you're capable of, and you're wrong. You looked at your past, drew conclusions, and called them facts. I'm not good with money. I'm bad at relationships. I'm not a leader. I'm not creative. And now, you live according to those beliefs. You filter out every piece of evidence that contradicts them. Someone compliments your work? Fluke. You have a good financial month? Luck. You handle a situation well? Exception. But mess up once? There it is. Proof. Evidence that your limiting belief was right all along. Your brain is a confirmation machine. It finds what it's looking for. Tell your brain you're bad with money. It'll find every expense that proves it. Miss every opportunity that disproves it. Tell your brain you're not smart enough. It'll highlight every mistake. Ignore every success. You're not seeing reality. You're seeing your beliefs reflected back at you. And those beliefs? Most of them aren't even yours. They're things other people said. Things you heard as a kid. Things you concluded from limited data when you were too young to know better. Your third-grade teacher said you weren't good at math. You believed her. Now you're 35 and still avoiding anything with numbers. Your ex said you were too emotional. You believed them. Now you suppress everything and wonder why relationships feel shallow. Your parents said money doesn't grow on trees. You believed them. Now you're broke and calling it not caring about material things. These aren't truths. These are programs. Software someone else installed. And you've been running them for decades without questioning them. Time to uninstall. Here's how limiting beliefs actually work. They're self-fulfilling prophecies. You believe you're bad at public speaking, so you avoid it, so you never practice, so you stay bad at it. Then you use that as evidence that you were right. You believe relationships always fail for you, so you sabotage them, so they fail. Then you use that as proof that you were right. You believe you can't build a business, so you don't try, so nothing happens. Then you use that as confirmation that you were right. See the pattern? Your belief creates the behavior. The behavior creates the result. The result confirms the belief. And the cycle repeats forever unless you break it. But you're not breaking it. You're comfortable in it. Because being right feels better than growing. You'd rather be right about your limitations than be wrong and discover you were capable all along. That's ego. That's pride. That's you choosing comfort over growth. Stop it. Your limiting beliefs are not protecting you. They're imprisoning you. Let's dismantle them right now. First step, write them down. All of them. Every I can't and I'm not, and people like me don't. Get them on paper where you can see them, where they're external, where they're not floating around in your head feeling like truth. Got them written? Good. Now for each one, ask, is this absolutely true? Not, does it feel true? Not, has it been true in the past? Is it absolutely, universally, permanently true? The answer is no. It's always no. I'm not good with money. Is that absolutely true? Or have you just never learned? Have you never tried? I'm too old to start over. Is that absolutely true? Or are there thousands of people older than you who did? I'm not smart enough. Is that absolutely true? Or have you just not learned this specific thing yet? See what happens when you question them? They fall apart because they were never solid. They were just thoughts you repeated. Next, find counter-evidence. For each limiting belief, find 3 examples that contradict it. I'm bad at relationships. Okay, name 3 times you were a good partner, 3 times you showed up, 3 times you communicated well. Can't find any? Look harder. They're there. Your brain just filtered them out because they didn't fit the narrative. This is how you start breaking the pattern. You're building a new story with evidence. And here's the key. Find people who succeeded despite having the same limitation you claim. I'm too old to start a business. Colonel Sanders started KFC at 62. Vera Wang entered fashion at 40. I don't have the education. Richard Branson has dyslexia and dropped out at 16. He's worth billions. I'm not naturally talented. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. Your limitations are not unique. They're excuses, and other people with the same excuses ignored them and succeeded anyway. So can you. Now rewrite each limiting belief into an empowering one. I'm not good with money becomes I'm learning to manage money effectively. I'm too old becomes I have experience and wisdom that younger people lack. I'm not smart enough becomes I'm capable of learning anything I commit to. See the difference? One is permanent. One is a process. One locks you in. One opens possibilities. And here's the critical part. Act as if the new belief is true. Don't wait to believe it. Act first. Belief follows action. If your new belief is, I'm capable of learning anything, then learn something. Take a course, read a book, try something new. If your new belief is, I'm good with people, then talk to people. Practice. Put yourself in social situations. Action creates evidence. Evidence changes beliefs. But you're doing it backward. You're waiting to believe before you act. That's not how it works. You act despite the doubt. Then the evidence from action changes the belief. That's the sequence. Always. And track your wins. Every single piece of evidence that contradicts your old limiting belief, write it down. Managed your money well this week? Write it down. Had a good conversation? Write it down. Learned something new? Write it down. Build a case against your limiting beliefs. Stack evidence until the old story can't survive. Because that's all your limiting beliefs are. Old stories, based on old data, that's no longer relevant. You're not the person who failed at that thing 10 years ago. You're not the kid whose teacher said you weren't good enough. You're whoever you decide to be, starting right now. But you have to decide. You have to choose the new belief. You have to act on it. You have to build evidence for it. Nobody's coming to give you permission. Nobody's coming to tell you you're capable. You have to decide that for yourself. So decide right now. Which limiting belief is destroying your potential most? Pick one, just one, the biggest one, the one that's cost you the most. Write it down, question it, find counter evidence, rewrite it. Then take one action this week that the empowered version of you would take. If you believe you're capable, what would you do? Do that thing. Scared? Good. That means you're breaking the pattern. That means you're growing. Do it scared. Do it doubting. Do it uncomfortable. Just do it. Because here's the truth. Your limiting beliefs will either destroy your future or you'll destroy your limiting beliefs. One of them has to go. Choose which one. Stop protecting your limitations. Stop defending your smallness. Stop proving yourself right about what you can't do. Start acting like the person you want to become. Start building evidence. Start rewriting the story. Your old beliefs got you here. They won't get you where you want to go. Kill them before they kill your dreams. You've identified the lies. You've questioned them. Now you need to replace them with truth. But not just any truth. Evidence. Proof that you're capable. And the fastest way to build that evidence isn't through action alone. It's through rewiring how your brain sees reality. Most people walk through life blind to opportunities because their brain is scanning for threats. Time to change the filter. Chapter 5. Train your brain to see abundance or drown in scarcity. Your brain is wired for negativity. That's not a character flaw. It's biology. Your ancestors survived because they remembered threats. The tiger that almost ate them, the poisonous berries, the cliff edge. Negativity kept them alive. But now? It's keeping you miserable. You're scanning for problems all day, finding them everywhere, missing every good thing right in front of you. That's the negativity bias. Your brain sees one bad thing and filters out 50 good things. And you wonder why you're anxious, why you're ungrateful, why nothing feels like enough. When was the last time you went a full day without complaining, without thinking about what's wrong, what's missing, what's not working? Can't remember? That's the problem. Your brain is a problem-finding machine. It's scanning constantly for what could go wrong. That served your ancestors well when survival was the goal. But you're not running from tigers anymore. You're safe, you're fed, you have shelter, you have clean water. You have people who care about you, but your brain doesn't see any of that. Your brain sees the traffic jam, the rude email, the weight you gained, the opportunity you missed. Your brain is focused on the 1% that's wrong and ignoring the 99% that's right. And that focus is destroying your happiness. What you focus on expands. That's not positive thinking nonsense. That's how your brain works. When you focus on problems, you find more problems. When you focus on what's good, you find more good. It's called the reticular activating system. Your brain filters reality based on what you're paying attention to. Think about a red car. Now suddenly you'll see red cars everywhere. They were always there. You just weren't looking. Same with your life. The good stuff is there. You're just not looking. Gratitude forces you to look. It rewires your filter. It trains your brain to see opportunities instead of threats. And the science backs this up. People who practice gratitude daily are happier, healthier, sleep better, have stronger relationships, are more resilient. Not because their lives are easier, because their perspective is different. They see the same problems everyone else sees. They just don't let those problems define their reality. But here's what gratitude isn't. Toxic positivity. It's not pretending everything's fine when it's not. It's not ignoring real problems. Gratitude is perspective. It's seeing the full picture instead of just the bad parts. You can be grateful for your health while also dealing with an injury. Grateful for your job while also looking for a better one. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges. It gives you strength to handle them. And that strength comes from practice, daily practice. Most people wait to feel grateful. They think gratitude is a response to good things happening. Wrong. Gratitude is a practice, something you do regardless of how you feel. You don't wait to feel like exercising. You exercise and then feel better. Same with gratitude. You practice it. Then the feelings follow. Here's how. Every morning or evening, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not in your head, on paper, or in your phone, somewhere real, because writing it down makes it concrete. Makes your brain pay attention. And don't write generic stuff. Don't just write my family or my health. Go specific. Go detailed. The way my son laughed at breakfast. The fact that I can walk without pain today. The friend who texted to check on me. Specificity forces you to pay attention, to actually notice the good stuff instead of sleepwalking through it. And here's the key. Include challenges. Write about something hard you're facing and what it's teaching you. I'm grateful for this financial struggle because it's forcing me to get creative and resourceful. I'm grateful for this difficult conversation because it's teaching me boundaries. When you find the lesson in the struggle loses power over you. You stop being a victim. You become someone who grows through adversity. That shift changes everything. Now here's how to level this up. Text one person every day with genuine gratitude. Thank your partner for something specific. Thank a coworker for their help. Thank a friend for being there. This does 2 things. It strengthens your relationships, and it reinforces your gratitude practice. Because when you tell someone what you appreciate about them, you feel it more deeply, and they feel seen, valued, appreciated, and they show up better for you. Gratitude is contagious. When you give it, it comes back multiplied. But most people never express gratitude. They think it, they feel it, they never say it. And relationships suffer. Connections weaken. Say it, text it, write it, express it. And here's the emergency use case. When negativity hits hard, when you're spiraling, stop right there. List 5 things that are going right. Just 5. Out loud or on paper. I'm breathing. I have a place to sleep tonight. I have food. I have someone who cares. I can change this. 5 things. That's the pattern interrupt. It breaks the spiral. It shifts your focus. It reminds you that things aren't as bad as your brain is telling you. Your brain lies to you constantly. Gratitude tells you the truth. The truth is, your life isn't perfect. Nobody's is. But there's good in it. Real, tangible, beautiful good. And you're missing it because you're too busy looking for problems. Stop looking for problems. Start looking for proof that things are working. You'll find it. It's everywhere. But you have to train your brain to see it. That's what gratitude practice does. 3 things daily. Specific details. Include challenges. Express it to others. Use it when spiraling. That's the practice. Simple. But most people won't do it. Because it feels silly. It feels like it won't make a difference. It feels too easy to be the solution. But it works. Science proves it. Lived experience proves it. Your default mindset will shift from scarcity to abundance. From, I don't have enough, to, I have more than I realize. That shift decreases anxiety, increases happiness, improves relationships. Problems don't disappear, but your resilience to handle them gets stronger. You stop being fragile. Challenges make you better instead of breaking you. And comparison dies. Because you're focused on what you have, not what others have. Comparison is the thief of joy. Gratitude kills comparison. When you're genuinely grateful for your life, you stop measuring it against someone else's curated highlight reel. You stop feeling behind. You stop feeling lacking. You stop feeling like you're not enough. Because you see what you have. And it's enough, not perfect, not complete, but enough to build from. Enough to be happy about. Enough to keep going. That's all you need. Not more, not different, just awareness of what's already there. So tonight, before bed, write down 3 things. Make them specific. Feel them as you write. And tomorrow night, 3 more. And the night after that, 3 more. In a month, you'll be a different person. Not because your life changed, because your perspective changed. And perspective is everything. Your brain is learning to see abundance now. Good. But seeing what's good in the present isn't enough. You need to see what's possible in the future. Most people stumble through life blind to opportunities because their brain isn't looking for them. Time to program your mental GPS. Time to make your brain hunt for what you want. Chapter 6. See your future before you build it. You think visualization is nonsense. Vision boards and manifestation and all that new age garbage. I get it. It sounds ridiculous. But here's what you don't know. Your brain can't tell the difference between vivid imagination and reality. When you visualize something in detail, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if you actually did it. Athletes know this. CEOs know this. High performers know this. They see success before it happens. They mentally rehearse. They build confidence in their minds first, then execute in reality. You're skipping that step, and it's costing you. Let's get one thing straight. Visualization isn't magic. It's not about sitting around imagining your dream life and expecting it to appear. That's daydreaming. That's fantasy. That's a waste of time. Visualization is mental rehearsal. It's practice. It's preparation. And it works because your brain is terrible at distinguishing between real experience and vividly imagined experience. When you visualize doing something in detail, with emotion, with specificity, your brain creates neural pathways. The same pathways that form when you actually do the thing. So, when the real moment comes, your brain says, I've done this before, and you perform better. That's not theory. That's neuroscience. Studies on athletes show this repeatedly. Basketball players who visualize free throws improve almost as much as players who physically practice. Surgeons who mentally rehearse procedures make fewer mistakes. Public speakers who visualize their presentations perform with more confidence. Your brain is building the blueprint in advance, so execution becomes easier. But you're not doing this. You're winging it, showing up unprepared, and wondering why things feel harder than they should. Start visualizing daily, specifically, emotionally. Here's how. Spend 5 to 10 minutes every morning visualizing your day going perfectly. Not vaguely, specifically. See yourself waking up energized, moving through your morning routine with focus. See yourself in that meeting. What are you wearing? Who's in the room? What are you saying? See yourself handling the difficult conversation with confidence, staying calm when challenges arise. See yourself ending the day feeling accomplished, proud, satisfied. Every detail matters. The more specific you are, the more real it becomes to your brain. And this is critical. Feel the emotions. Don't just see success. Feel it. Feel the pride, the relief, the joy, the accomplishment. Because emotion is what locks it in. Emotion is what makes it real to your subconscious. Your subconscious brain doesn't understand logic. It understands emotion and repetition, so you visualize with emotion. Do it every single day, and your subconscious starts believing it's real. And when your subconscious believes something, it works to make it true. It starts recognizing opportunities aligned with your vision, steering you toward actions that match what you've been visualizing. You're programming your brain, training it to see and seize what you want. But here's the key. Visualization without action is useless. This isn't the secret. This isn't sit on your couch and manifest $1 million. Visualization is step 1. Action is step 2. You need both. Visualize the successful presentation. Then prepare the presentation. Visualize the confident conversation, then have the conversation. Visualization builds confidence. Confidence creates action. Action creates results. That's the sequence. Most people skip visualization and jump straight to action. And they're nervous, anxious, unprepared mentally. Or they visualize but never act, and nothing changes. You need both. So every morning, visualize your day, see it, feel it, then go execute it. And here's the bigger practice. Visualize your goals. Write down your biggest goal. The one that scares you. The one that feels impossible. Now visualize it achieved, in detail. What does your life look like when you've hit that goal? Where are you living? What are you doing? Who's around you? How do you feel? What does success feel like in your body? Spend 2 minutes every day in that vision, seeing and feeling your goal as already achieved. Your brain starts to believe it's possible. And when your brain believes it's possible, you start acting like someone who's going to achieve it. You make different decisions, take different actions, see different opportunities, not because the opportunities weren't there before, because you weren't looking for them. Your reticular activating system, that filter in your brain, it's now tuned to your goal. So you start noticing things, connections, resources, ideas, things that were always there but invisible to you before. Visualization tunes your filter. It primes your brain. It prepares you mentally before the real event. And that preparation is the difference between showing up confident and showing up scared, between seeing opportunities and missing them, between performing well and choking under pressure. Now, let's be clear about what this isn't. Positive thinking. This isn't pretending everything's fine when it's not. Visualization includes obstacles. You visualize challenges arising, and you visualize yourself handling them with confidence. You see the difficult conversation going south, and you see yourself staying calm, listening, responding with maturity. You see the project hitting a roadblock, and you see yourself problem-solving, adapting, finding another way. You're not avoiding reality. You're preparing for it. You're building confidence that no matter what happens, you can handle it. That confidence is what makes you unstoppable. Because unstoppable people aren't people who never face challenges. They're people who face challenges and keep moving anyway. And they can do that because they've already done it 1,000 times in their mind. So start tomorrow. Wake up, sit for 5 minutes, close your eyes, visualize your day, see it in detail, feel the emotions, see yourself winning. Then open your eyes and go make it real. Do this every single day. Make it part of your morning routine. Non-negotiable. After meditation, before you check your phone, you sit, you see, you feel, you prepare. And over time, you'll notice something. Your confidence isn't based on external validation anymore. It's based on internal preparation. You've already seen yourself succeed. You've already felt it. So when the moment comes, you're ready. You're calm. You're confident. Not because you're delusional, because you're prepared. That's the power of visualization. That's how high performers stay high performing. They see it first. They feel it first. They build it in their minds first. Then they execute in reality. Start doing the same. See your future before you build it. Build the blueprint in your mind. Then construct it in reality. You're visualizing your future now. You're seeing what's possible. Perfect. But here's the problem. You're operating on your limited experience, your limited knowledge, your limited perspective. You're trying to build a skyscraper with kindergarten tools. You need other people's knowledge, other people's failures, other people's breakthroughs. And there's one habit that gives you access to all of it. For free. Chapter 7. Read every day or stay exactly where you are. You don't read, and it shows. Your thinking is shallow. Your perspective is limited. Your solutions are the same ones you've been trying for years because you're operating on your own limited experience. And your experience isn't enough. You need other people's knowledge, other people's failures, other people's breakthroughs. That's what reading gives you. Access to minds you'll never meet. Solutions to problems you're currently facing. Frameworks that compress decades of learning into hours. But you're scrolling instead, consuming junk, and wondering why you're not growing. Here's a test. When was the last time you finished a book? Not scrolled through a book summary, not listened to a podcast about a book, actually read a full book cover to cover. Can't remember? That's the problem. You're not learning, you're consuming, and consumption without depth is entertainment, not education. Most people read less than 1 book a year. 1. In 365 days. And they wonder why they're stuck repeating the same patterns, making the same mistakes, getting the same results. You don't have new information, so you don't have new strategies, so nothing changes. Reading is the cheapest form of mentorship you'll ever get. You want to learn how to build a business? Read a book from someone who's built 10. You want to improve your relationships? Read a book from a therapist with 30 years of experience. You want to understand your mind? Read a book from a psychologist who studied it their entire career. All that wisdom, all that experience, all those failures and breakthroughs. Available for $15 and a few hours of your time. But you won't invest that time. You'll spend 3 hours scrolling social media. You'll binge watch an entire season in one weekend. But you won't read 10 pages of a book that could actually change your life. You don't have a time problem. You have a priority problem. And your priorities are keeping you stuck. Here's what reading does. It expands your thinking beyond your limited experience. You've lived one life, made one set of mistakes, seen one perspective. Reading gives you access to thousands of lives, thousands of perspectives, thousands of lessons you didn't have to learn the hard way. Every book is a compressed lifetime of knowledge. Someone spent years, maybe decades, learning something. Then they wrote it down. And you can absorb that knowledge in a few hours. That's the leverage. That's the shortcut. That's how you compress decades of learning into days. But you're not using it. You're reinventing the wheel. Trying to figure everything out on your own. That's not noble. It's stupid. Someone has already solved the problem you're facing. They wrote a book about it. Read the book. Now here's the thing. 10 pages a day. That's it. 10 pages takes 10 to 15 minutes. Anyone claiming they're too busy is lying. You're not too busy. You're too distracted. Too addicted to your phone. Too comfortable with mediocrity. 10 pages a day is 3,650 pages a year. That's 12 to 15 books depending on length. 12 new frameworks, 12 new perspectives, 12 levels of growth, all from 10 pages a day. But you won't do it. You'll say you will. You'll buy books. They'll sit on your shelf collecting dust. Because reading isn't sexy. It's not instant. It doesn't give you a dopamine hit every 15 seconds like social media does. Reading requires focus, patience, effort, and most people aren't willing to give that. So they stay exactly where they are. Same knowledge, same thinking, same results. You want different results? Read different books. You want to think differently? Consume different information. What you put in your mind shapes how you think. Garbage in, garbage out. You're feeding your mind social media drama. Celebrity gossip. News designed to make you anxious. Content designed to steal your attention. And you wonder why you can't focus. Why you can't think clearly. Why everything feels overwhelming. Your mental diet is poison. And it's killing your potential. Replace scrolling with reading. Replace consumption with education. Here's how to make it stick. Read first thing in the morning or last thing before bed. Anchor it to your routine. Make it automatic. Morning reading sets your mind right for the day. You're feeding it wisdom before the world feeds it garbage. Evening reading improves sleep quality. Your brain processes information while you sleep. Give it good information to process. And keep your current book visible. On your nightstand, on your desk, on your coffee table. Out of sight is out of mind. If your book is buried in a drawer, you won't read it. Make it visible. Make it easy. Remove friction. And this is critical. Remove your phone from your bedroom. You can't replace scrolling with reading if your phone is 3 inches from your face. Put your phone in another room. Charge it in the bathroom, in the kitchen, anywhere but your bedroom. Replace the phone with a book. That's the swap. When you reach for distraction, reach for a book instead. Track your progress too. Keep a list of books you've completed. Watch it grow. Visual progress motivates continuation. When you see 12 books completed in a year, you want to keep going. You have proof you're growing. Proof you're learning. Proof you're different than you were a year ago. And that proof builds identity. You become someone who reads, someone who learns, someone who grows. That identity changes how you show up for everything else. Now here's what to read. Nonfiction, personal development, biographies, business, psychology, books that teach you how to think, how to act, how to live. Not fiction for entertainment, not escape. Your daily reading should be for growth. 10 pages of growth-focused reading every single day. Biographies show you how successful people think, what they did, what they sacrificed, what they learned. Personal development gives you frameworks for improving your life, your habits, your mindset. Business books teach you strategy, systems, how to build something meaningful. Psychology books teach you how your mind works, how to overcome limiting beliefs, how to think clearly. All of it compounds. All of it builds on itself. All of it makes you sharper, wiser, better. But only if you read, daily, consistently, non-negotiably. Non-readers repeat the same year for 40 years and call it a life. Readers live 40 different years of continuous growth. Which one are you? Your thinking expands beyond your limited experience when you read. Problems you're facing have already been solved by someone else. You just needed to read their book. Knowledge becomes your competitive edge. While everyone else is stuck in their own limited perspective, you're learning from hundreds of people who've already walked the path. That's leverage. That's growth. That's how you become unstoppable. So tonight, before bed, read 10 pages. Just 10. And tomorrow night, 10 more. And the night after that, 10 more. In a year, you'll be a different person, with different knowledge, different thinking, different results. Or you can keep scrolling, keep consuming junk, and stay exactly where you are. Your choice. Leaders are readers. Show me your bookshelf and I'll predict your future. What's on yours? You're feeding your mind with knowledge now. Your perspective is expanding. You're learning from people decades ahead of you. But knowledge without reflection is just noise. Information without processing is entertainment. You're consuming wisdom, but are you extracting it? Are you applying it? Or is it just passing through? Time to turn knowledge into power. Chapter 8. Right to think to grow. Your thoughts are a mess, jumbled, scattered, spinning in circles inside your head. You think you're thinking clearly. You're not. You're just replaying the same mental loops over and over. The same worries, the same doubts, the same problems. And nothing changes because nothing gets processed. Writing is how you think, not typing notes on your phone, not recording voice memos. Writing, pen to paper, thoughts to page. That's how confusion becomes clarity. That's how chaos becomes order. That's how stuck becomes unstoppable. You've got a problem you can't solve. It's been sitting in your head for weeks, maybe months. You think about it constantly, analyze it from every angle, and you're no closer to a solution than when you started. Here's why. You're trying to solve it in your head. And your head is a terrible place to solve problems. Your brain can only hold about 7 pieces of information at once. That's it. 7 things. But you're trying to process 50 variables, weighing options, considering outcomes, remembering past experiences, predicting future scenarios, all at the same time. All in your head. It's like trying to juggle with your hands tied behind your back. You need to get it out, onto paper, where you can see it, where you can organize it, where you can actually think about it. That's what writing does. It downloads your mental clutter. It frees up space. It creates clarity. It turns fuzzy thinking into sharp thinking. But you're not writing. You're just thinking, in circles, getting nowhere. Most people think journaling is for teenagers. Dear diary nonsense, feelings and emotions and all that soft stuff. Wrong. Journaling is a tool, a thinking tool, a problem-solving tool, an accountability tool. It's how you process what's happening in your life, how you track your progress, how you hold yourself to your commitments, and it's how you catch the patterns you'd otherwise miss. Because here's what happens when you write every day. You start seeing your patterns, the same triggers, the same reactions, the same excuses, the same self-sabotage. When it's in your head, you don't notice. It all blends together, one big blur of thoughts and feelings. But when it's on paper, when you can read what you wrote yesterday, last week, last month, the patterns jump out. They smack you in the face, and you can't ignore them anymore. You see that every time you're stressed, you skip your workout. Every time you're overwhelmed, you scroll social media. Every time you feel behind, you give up on your goals. Same pattern, over and over, and you never noticed until you wrote it down. That's the power of journaling. It makes the invisible visible. And once you see the pattern, you can break it. But most people never get there, because they never write. They keep everything in their head, where it stays fuzzy, where patterns stay hidden, where nothing changes. Here's how to actually do this: morning pages or evening reflection. Pick one. Morning pages. 3 pages of stream of consciousness writing. First thing in the morning, before you do anything else. No editing, no thinking, no making it pretty. Just dump everything in your head onto paper. All the worries, all the thoughts, all the mental noise. Get it out. All of it. This clears your mind before the day starts. It gives you space to think, to focus, to show up clear instead of cluttered. Evening reflection. 5 minutes before bed. Answer 3 questions. What went well today? What did I learn today? What will I do differently tomorrow? That's it. 3 questions, 5 minutes. This solidifies your learning. It locks in the lessons. It makes sure you're not just living on autopilot. You're extracting value from every day. You're growing intentionally. You're course correcting in real time. Pick one. Morning or evening. Doesn't matter which. What matters is consistency. Every single day. No skipping, no "I'll do it later." Every day. Because journaling isn't about the individual entry. It's about the accumulation. One entry does almost nothing. 30 consecutive days? You're different. You see patterns, you process emotions, you solve problems, you hold yourself accountable. And here's the accountability piece. Written commitments are harder to break. When you say, "I'm going to do this," it's easy to forget, easy to rationalize, easy to ignore. But when you write, "Tomorrow I will do this," it's there, in ink, staring at you the next day. You can't pretend you didn't commit. You can't lie to yourself. The evidence is right there. That accountability changes behavior. You follow through more because you wrote it down. Now here's what to do when you're stuck. Use prompts. Today I will focus on, I'm grateful for one thing I learned this week. A problem I'm facing is, and possible solutions are, I'm avoiding because. Prompts give you direction when your mind is blank. They get you writing. They get you thinking. But here's the key. Keep it simple. You don't need a fancy journal. You don't need a system. You don't need colored pens and stickers and perfect handwriting, notebook and pen. That's it. The more complicated you make it, the less you'll do it. Simple wins, always. And review your journal weekly. Every Sunday, read the past week's entries. Look for patterns. Celebrate wins. Course correct where needed. This is where the magic happens. This is where you see growth. This is where you catch yourself before you spiral. You see the same problem showing up 3 days in a row? Address it now, before it becomes a month-long pattern. You see yourself making progress on a goal? Celebrate it. Build momentum. Keep going. The review is what makes journaling powerful. Without the review, you're just writing. With the review, you're growing. Here's what changes when you journal consistently. Mental clarity increases. Your head feels lighter, less cluttered, more focused. Emotional processing improves. You don't carry stress and anxiety around all day. You process it. You move through it. Self-awareness grows. You understand yourself better, your triggers, your patterns, your strengths, your weaknesses. And you catch limiting beliefs before they sabotage you. Those thoughts running in the background. I'm not good enough. I always fail. I can't do this. When they're in your head, they feel like facts. When you write them down, you see them for what they are. Lies, stories, bullshit. And you can challenge them, reframe them, replace them. But only if you write them down first. And here's the proof piece. Progress becomes undeniable. When you read entries from 30 days ago, 60 days ago, 90 days ago, you see how far you've come. Problems that felt impossible then are solved now. Habits that felt hard then are automatic now. You have evidence, real, tangible evidence that you're changing, that you're growing, that it's working. That evidence builds confidence. It builds belief. It builds momentum. And that momentum carries you forward. So tonight, before bed, grab a notebook. Write for 5 minutes. Answer the 3 questions. What went well today? What did I learn today? What will I do differently tomorrow? 5 minutes, that's your start. And tomorrow morning, if you want to level up, write 3 pages. Stream of consciousness, brain dump. Get it all out. Do this every day. Make it non-negotiable. Make it as automatic as brushing your teeth. Because writing isn't just recording your life. It's processing your life. It's learning from your life. It's changing your life. Stop keeping everything in your head. Start putting it on paper. That's how thoughts become clear. That's how problems get solved. That's how you grow. Your mind is a thinking machine. But it needs maintenance. It needs clearing. It needs processing. Writing is that maintenance. 5 minutes daily. Pen to paper. Thoughts to clarity. That's the practice. That's the tool. That's how you rule your mind. You're writing now. You're processing. You're extracting lessons from every day. You're thinking clearly for the first time in years. Beautiful. But all that clarity means nothing if you're filling your mind with garbage the other 23 hours. You're journaling for 5 minutes, then scrolling poison for 3 hours. You're 1 step forward, 10 steps back. Time to protect your inputs, like your life depends on it. Because it does. Chapter 9. Control what goes in your mind, or let it control you. You're exhausted, and you think it's because you're working too hard. It's not. You're exhausted because you're consuming poison all day, news that makes you anxious, social media that makes you feel inadequate, toxic people who drain your energy, negative self-talk that tears you down. Your mind is like your body. Feed it junk, and it performs like junk. You wouldn't eat garbage for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but that's exactly what you're doing mentally. And it's destroying you. Your mental diet determines your mental health, and your mental diet is trash. Let's talk about your mental diet. What did you consume today? First thing this morning, you grabbed your phone, scrolled the news. Doom, disaster, division, then social media. Everyone's highlight reel. Everyone's perfect life. Everyone's success except yours. Then you listen to a podcast, someone complaining about the world, about how hard everything is, about how unfair life is. Then lunch with a coworker who spent 30 minutes venting about their boss, about their workload, about their problems. Then more scrolling, more news, more comparison, more negativity. And now you're wondering why you feel anxious, why you feel behind, why you can't focus. It's not a mystery. It's your inputs. Garbage in, garbage out. That's not just a saying. That's how your brain works. What you consume shapes how you think, how you feel, how you show up. And right now, you're consuming poison. News is engineered for anxiety, designed to keep you scared, to keep you clicking, to keep you watching. They don't report good news. They report disasters, threats, conflicts, because fear keeps you engaged. Fear keeps you coming back. And you're consuming it multiple times a day, sometimes multiple times an hour. Your nervous system is in constant fight or flight. Your cortisol is spiking. Your anxiety is through the roof. Not because your life is falling apart, because the news is telling you the world is. And social media, that's comparison fuel. Everyone's posting their wins, their vacations, their promotions, their perfect relationships. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. And you feel like you're losing, like you're behind, like everyone else has it figured out except you. But it's a lie. It's a curated lie. And you're letting it destroy your peace. Here's what you need to understand. Your mind is your most valuable asset. It's where your thoughts live, your decisions happen, your creativity sparks, your focus exists, and you're letting anyone and anything dump garbage into it. You wouldn't let a stranger walk into your house and throw trash on your floor, but you're letting strangers dump trash into your mind every single day. The first and last 30 minutes of your day are the most important. They set your mental state. And you're spending them consuming other people's agendas, other people's problems, other people's negativity. That's why you wake up stressed. That's why you go to bed anxious. That's why you can't shut your brain off. You're poisoning yourself, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. You become the average of what you consume. Not the average of the 5 people you spend time with. The average of what you consume. The podcasts you listen to, The shows you watch, the accounts you follow, the news you read. That's what's shaping your thinking. That's what's determining your mental state. And right now, your inputs are destroying you. So here's what changes. No phone for the first 60 minutes after waking. None. Zero. Not even to check the time. The first hour of your day belongs to you. Not the news. Not social media. Not other people's emergencies. You. You wake up. You move your body. You meditate. You write. You read. You visualize. You fill your mind with intention. With growth, with clarity, not anxiety, not comparison, not negativity. That first hour sets your day. Protect it like your life depends on it. Because it does. And before bed, same rule. No phone for the last 30 minutes before sleep. Your brain processes information while you sleep. What you consume before bed gets processed all night. Give it good information, not garbage. Read a book, journal. Reflect, prepare for tomorrow. Don't scroll. Don't watch the news. Don't consume other people's stress. And during the day, audit your inputs. Unfollow accounts that make you feel worse. Every single one, no exceptions. Social media should inspire you, educate you, motivate you. If it doesn't, unfollow. You don't owe anyone your attention. You don't owe anyone your mental energy. Protect it. Guard it. Be ruthless about it. Limit news to 10 minutes daily. That's it. 10 minutes. Set a timer. You can stay informed without staying anxious. You can know what's happening without drowning in doom. 10 minutes. Then move on. Live your life. Focus on what you control. And audit your podcasts, your shows, your content. Are they making you better or just filling time? Are they teaching you something or just entertaining you? Are they helping you grow or keeping you distracted? Cut what doesn't serve growth. Be ruthless. Your time and attention are finite. Stop wasting them. Replace scrolling with reading. Replace consuming with creating. Replace distraction with intention. Every time you reach for your phone out of boredom, stop. Ask yourself, what could I do instead? Read a page, write a thought, stretch, breathe, think. Do something intentional. Something that serves you. Something that grows you. Not something that drains you. Here's what happens when you protect your inputs. Mental energy returns. You feel lighter, less overwhelmed, more focused. Anxiety decreases because you're not consuming fear and comparison all day. Focus sharpens because your mind isn't cluttered with garbage. Comparison fades because you're not watching everyone else's life. You're building your own. And peace becomes your default state. Not because your life got easier, because your mind got quieter, because you stopped letting the world dump garbage into it. You're not tired from working. You're tired from consuming. Fix your inputs. Fix your outputs. It's that simple. So tomorrow morning, leave your phone in another room. Don't touch it for 60 minutes. Use that hour for you, for your growth, for your peace. And before bed tonight, same thing. No phone for 30 minutes. Read, write, reflect. Protect your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. What goes in determines what comes out. Choose wisely. Information isn't power. The right information is power, and you're drowning in the wrong information. Cut the noise. Protect the signal. Guard your mind. That's how you stay sane in an insane world. That's how you rule your mind. Your inputs are clean now. Your mind is protected. You're no longer consuming poison. You're meditating, writing, reading, visualizing. You've learned 10 rules for ruling your mind. You know exactly what to do. Perfect. Except you're still not doing it. You're still waiting, still planning, still preparing. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. And you've been entertained long enough. Time to move. Chapter 10. Act now or regret forever. You know what to do. You've always known. You've read the books. You've listened to the podcasts. You've watched the videos. You've got more information than you'll ever need. And you're still stuck, still waiting, still preparing, still planning. Because you think you need one more thing, one more course, one more strategy, one more perfect moment. You don't. You need to stop learning and start doing. Knowledge without action is useless, and you're drowning in useless knowledge. The time is now. Act or stay stuck forever. Here's the truth you don't want to hear. You're not going to feel ready. Ever. That perfect moment you're waiting for, it's not coming. That feeling of total confidence and clarity, not happening. That day when everything aligns and you finally feel prepared, never arrives. You're waiting for something that doesn't exist. And while you wait, your life is passing. Your dreams are dying. Your potential is wasting. All because you won't act. You think you're being smart, strategic, careful, prepared. You're not. You're procrastinating. And you're calling it planning. Perfectionism is procrastination in disguise. It's fear dressed up as standards. You tell yourself you're not ready yet. You need more time, more information, more preparation. But that's a lie. You're ready enough. You've always been ready enough. You're just scared. Scared of failing. Scared of looking stupid. Scared of being wrong. So you hide behind preparation. You stay in learning mode. You consume more content. You make more plans. And you never actually do anything. Here's what you need to understand. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction. Every single time. Starting messy is better than not starting at all. Trying and failing is better than never trying. Moving forward slowly is better than standing still. But you're standing still, paralyzed by the need to be perfect, to have it all figured out. And nothing is happening, nothing is changing, nothing is growing, because nothing happens until you move. Analysis paralysis has killed more dreams than failure ever will. Failure is just feedback. Failure teaches you. Failure moves you forward. But analysis keeps you stuck, safe, comfortable, and completely stagnant. You're analyzing yourself into mediocrity and calling it wisdom. Stop it. Waiting for readiness is waiting forever. You don't become ready by thinking about it. You become ready by doing it. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes from action. You don't feel brave, then act. You act, then feel brave. You don't feel capable, then start. You start, then become capable. The doing creates the feeling, not the other way around. But you're trying to reverse the order. You're waiting to feel confident before you act. And you'll wait forever, because that's not how it works. Momentum creates clarity. You can't think your way into action. You act your way into clarity. You start moving, and the path reveals itself. You take one step. Then you see the next step. But you're trying to see the entire staircase before you take the first step. And you can't. Nobody can. You have to move. Then the way forward becomes clear. Sitting still and thinking doesn't create clarity. Moving forward creates clarity. So stop thinking. Start moving. Here's what you do. Pick one habit from this book. Just one. Not all 10. One. The one that resonated most. The one you keep thinking about. The one you know would change everything. Pick it. Right now. This second, and start today. Not Monday, not next week, not when things calm down. Today, set a 5-minute timer. Take immediate action on something you've been avoiding. Not preparation, not planning. Action. If it's rewiring your brain, practice the new pattern right now for 5 minutes. If it's meditation, sit down and breathe for 5 minutes right now. If it's gratitude, write down 3 things right now. If it's visualization, close your eyes and see your goal for 5 minutes right now. If it's reading, read 10 pages right now. Action. Immediate. Imperfect, but real. And tell someone. Text a friend. Call your partner. Post publicly. Tell someone what you're committing to. Accountability increases follow-through by 65%. When you tell someone, you're more likely to do it, because now someone else knows. And you don't want to look like a quitter. Use that. Tell someone today and remove "I'll start Monday" from your vocabulary forever. Mondays aren't magical. Mondays aren't more powerful than Tuesdays or Thursdays or right now. Monday is just another excuse, another delay, another way to avoid starting. You don't need a fresh week. You need to start now. Today, this hour, this minute. Commit to 30 days. Not forever. Not a lifetime. 30 days. Track it daily. Put a check mark on your calendar. Watch the chain grow. No excuses. No negotiations. No, just this once. 30 days of showing up. That's your commitment. After 30 days, then you can decide if you keep going. But you need 30 days of proof first. 30 days of evidence that you're someone who follows through. Here's what changes when you act. You break the cycle of endless planning. You stop living in preparation mode. You start living in execution mode. Confidence builds. Not from thinking about confidence, from action, from doing hard things, from keeping promises to yourself. Results start appearing. Not because you planned better, because you acted, because you moved, because you did something, and your life transforms. Not because you got smarter, not because you learned more, because you finally decided to act, because you finally decided you're worth the effort. You've spent years consuming, learning, planning, preparing. You've got all the knowledge you need, more than you need. What you don't have is action. What you don't have is follow through. So stop reading, stop learning, stop preparing, start doing. Pick your habit. Start today. Tell someone. Commit to 30 days. That's it. That's the plan. Simple, clear, actionable. No more excuses. No more delays. No more someday. Today, right now, this moment. You know what you need to do. You've always known. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for perfection. Stop waiting for readiness. Just start. Someday is the graveyard where ambition goes to die. Don't bury your dreams there. Act now, or regret forever. Those are your options. Choose wisely. Your life changes the moment you decide to stop preparing and start executing. So decide, right now, this second. What's the one habit you're starting today? Pick it. Do it. Track it. Tell someone. 30 days. No excuses. No negotiations. That's how you rule your mind. That's how you rule your life. Stop reading. Start doing. Become unstoppable. If something in this audiobook connected with you, even in a small way, we'd love to hear from you. What resonated most? What are you working on in your own journey? Your thoughts, your story, they truly matter here. Your feedback not only helps us create better content, but it could inspire someone else who's listening right now. So go ahead, drop a comment below, and share something real. We're listening, and we're growing together.